This is Tech Ears. My name is Levi, and today we're going to break down if the ZV-1 Mark II is the camera you should get. How does it compare to the ZV-1 Mark I, and where it fits in Sony's lineup. So hopefully we can break this down for you. Let's get into it. So Sony has three different models in their lineup of this pretty much exact same camera. Now this specifically is the ZV-1, and I do have a little cage on it so it's easier to grip. They actually have the RX100 Mark VII, the ZV-1, and I'm actually going to go forward and call it the ZV-2 for the rest of these video. And all three of these are really specific for each use case. So as far as saying which one is better, like most things you're going to spend your money on, it really is going to depend on what your needs are and what you're trying to accomplish, because all three are going to be excellent. So the RX100 Mark VII is going to be the point of camera that you get as a point and shoot for photography. It has a 24 to 200 millimeter lens, which allows you to get pretty much anything you want to shoot, and even with the clear image zoom you're able to get even to 300 or 400 millimeters. It still does video really well, but it does have a mechanical shutter. It does have an actual EVF, or electronic viewfinder, and it has the flip out screen. So it still can do video, but it's going to be meant more for photography. Now again, I believe that one's priced around $1,200, a little more expensive, but you can get it on the used market for a little bit cheaper. That's in contrast to the ZV-2, ZV-1 Mark II, that is super video focused. They did away with the mechanical shutter. They gave you the active steady shot, which is not on the Mark VII, RX100. There is no EVF. It still has pretty much the same video modes. It's giving you a wider zoom range. So instead of 24 to 200, it's 18 to 50 millimeters. And again, mind you, the active steady shot is going to crop in about 20% on either the ZV-1 or ZV-2. Now, the ZV-2 did make a lot of little improvements specifically for video. The mic capsule is a lot higher quality. So coming from something like the ZV-E1, I can testify the quality of the mic is excellent. They moved over the little plate here from the battery, and also that allows you to use it without a grip, so you can just keep it smaller. You can use it without, say, a selfie stick, and just a lot of little improvements that help it to be a more video focused camera. Now, with no mechanical shutter, with not being able to go past 50 millimeters, and not even talking about the lens, which doesn't have optical stabilization like both the RX100 and the ZV-1. The ZV-2 also is the slowest aperture, and in the 1-inch sensor, that makes a big difference if you are wanting to zoom out. So you're only going to f4 versus the f2.8 on either one of these, and as fast as a 1.8 for a broader term, or that 24 millimeters, which is a little bit more photocentric if you're taking pictures. So the ZV-2 is excellent for video, and that's what it's intended for. Then you have the ZV-1, which is literally the best of both worlds. You're getting the mechanical shutter, you're getting a more typical 24 to 7 millimeter zoom range with a faster aperture of 1.8 to 2.8. You're getting an optically stabilized lens, as well as that digital stabilization. And although you do have to modify it a little bit, you can make it pretty much as good as what you're going to get from the ZV-2, and it's giving you most of the benefits without that long reach of the RX100, or 100 Mark VII. So some of the things you do have to do to the ZV-1 to make it equal to the ZV-2 is, unfortunately, you do have to add a grip or a cage. That's the only way you're going to get past where the screw point is. But it's such a small camera, adding a cage to it's not that big of a deal. The second thing you would want to do to it is, unfortunately, you kind of have to add a wide angle lens. Now, this is one that is literally, you can add magnetically and just pop it on and off. Now, this is going to give you that wide angle aperture, or maybe that wide angle lens, where you're going from that 24 down to about 21, which means it's similar to the 18 with the active steady shot. But if you take a look there, it's not too much of a difference, but you are adding or having to bring more stuff with you. Finally, generally you are going to have some kind of selfie stick. Let me grab it here. The one I use that makes it super easy is literally one from Ulanzi that is also a battery grip. So this, just that little bit of extension really does help. I'm able to kind of make a difference with using this. With the battery, I don't have to worry about those tiny batteries. I can just plug it in. This is still using USB, micro USB versus USB-C. I wish it did have the USB-C from the ZV Mark II, but you find yourself having to modify or add the ZV-1 a little bit to bring it up to the ZV-2 specs if you're doing video. So which one is better? It's not really which one is better. It's going to be which one are you going to use more. If you're doing more video, the ZV-2 is just a better video camera you can keep in your pocket. If you're doing more photography, the RX100 Mark VII is just the better, quick point-and-shoot photography camera. If you're doing a little bit of both, or you're not sure what you're doing, or you're just starting your kind of creative journey, whether you're doing photos, videos, the ZV-1 is probably still the better buy because you're able to kind of experience both at a very high quality and still not have to worry about what camera am I going to get. So if you do know what you're shooting and you do know you're doing video or you're doing photos, hopefully that helps. I wish Sony was a little bit more clear on it because the ZV-2 seems like they took away some stuff from the ZV-1 as far as like those high frame rates, the mechanical shutter. But I believe a lot of what they did was really just making it a more video-centric camera. And for someone like me who does do more video, that ZV-2 is really intriguing. I can use my digital mics like I'm using on this. I can not have to put on a cage, which makes it even smaller. I have a wider lens, so I don't have to bring that selfie stick. And it's something that, man, really has me thinking maybe I should get the ZV-2. But as also a camera that I've given to family members, such as just giving it to my wife, my sister, my nieces. They can just use it and take pictures of it that are really good or shoot a quick video on it. And I know no matter what they do, it's gonna work well. So I still really like the ZV-1. I still like the adaptability, where if I'm gonna use it more as a video camera, I have the stuff. But if I'm still wanting to take some really good photos, being able to go out to 70 millimeters, being able to have the mechanical shutter, being able to take it to sporting events where I don't have to worry about banding, I can do fast action, I can do those quick frame rates at 960 frames per second. It's just really cool that Sony's not offering on other cameras. So I think the ZV-1 is still maybe a better buy for most people if you don't know. But if you know you're doing video, get the ZV-2. If you know you're doing photography, don't forget about the RX100 Mark VII. And if you're not sure which one and you just want to get one of the best value you can get from Sony, the ZV-1 at $750 new and used anywhere from $400 to $600 is probably still the best point and shoot camera you can buy to use for starting your YouTube channel, doing home videos, giving to your son, your wife, your husband, and having them be able to take and create memories pretty much the easiest way possible with still high quality. Hopefully that helps you guys, and that breaks down which one is right for you versus the ZV-1, the ZV-1 Mark II, or ZV-2, or even looking at the RX100 Mark VII from Sony. This is Levi Tech Ears. Really appreciate you guys, and I'll come at you later.